The IREN Inc. stock price is currently trading at $46.50 as of May 4, 2026, marking a climb of about 1.84% in today's session. While most people are watching the ticker wait for the next earnings call scheduled for May 7, the real story isn't just about the upcoming numbers. The market expects a standard mining update, but the reality is that IREN just hit a massive operational milestone with the energization of its 1.4 gigawatt Sweetwater 1 site in Texas. This isn't just another data center. This is a high-voltage connection to the eCourt grid that effectively turns the company from a miner into one of the largest power infrastructure players in the country. Most investors see a Bitcoin company, but the reality is that IREN is now sitting on a power portfolio that rivals major utility providers, and that is a shift most of the market is still trying to price in. When you look at the recent stock movement, the volatility has been intense. We saw the price swing from a low of $45.15 today up to a high of $47.40. And that type of range is exactly why this ticker is a favorite for those using the Robinhood app or the Fidelity mobile app. Institutional activity has been picking up as well, with the company recently being added to the MSCI USA index. That move forced a lot of passive funds to start buying in, providing a floor that wasn't there 6 months ago. Trading volumes are hovering around 26 million shares today, which is slightly lower than the 20-day average of 35 million, suggesting that some of the big money is waiting for the May 7 results before making their next major play. However, the technicals show the price holding steady above the 200-day moving average of $41.79, which keeps the long-term uptrend intact for those following self-investing strategies. Expectations for the upcoming earnings are a bit grim, with analysts projecting a loss of 24 cents per share. The common ground among bearish traders is that Bitcoin mining margins are getting squeezed and that the company's pivot is taking too long. But if you look at the deeper layers, IREN has already secured billions in financing for GPUs and has a massive contract with Microsoft. The expectation is a mining miss. The reality might be a massive revenue surge in their AI cloud services, which grew over 130% last quarter. This tension between the old mining narrative and the new AI infrastructure narrative is what creates the opportunity. If the AI revenue starts to outweigh the mining drag, the stock could see a massive re-rating. Whether you are using Interactive Brokers or the SoFi trading platform, this is the specific metric you need to watch during the earnings call. Comment below how many shares of IREN Inc. you currently hold and if you think the AI pivot is enough to save them from a Bitcoin downturn. Institutional activity isn't just about index inclusion. We are seeing major players look at IREN as a way to play the power shortage in the United States. While most people are focused on Nvidia stock or Apple stock for their AI exposure, savvy investors are looking at the power that runs those chips. IREN's 2 gigawatt Sweetwater campus is a fortress of power in a market where getting a grid connection can take 5 to 10 years. This gives them a massive lead over competitors who are still stuck in the permitting phase. The market is slowly realizing that IREN isn't just a client of the grid. They are becoming a vital part of the energy infrastructure. This realization is what drove the stock from its 52-week low of $6.01 to where it sits today. If you are looking for investment help or exploring various investing sites, it is important to understand the business model transition. IREN started strictly as Iris Energy, focusing on renewable-powered Bitcoin mining. They built high-quality data centers that were designed to be efficient. However, as the demand for AI compute exploded, they realized their data centers were perfectly suited for high-density GPU clusters. They didn't just stay in their lane. They expanded into AI cloud services, providing the infrastructure for companies that need massive amounts of processing power. This shift is why you see them partnering with Microsoft and securing massive amounts of Nvidia chips. They are essentially renting out their power and cooling capabilities at a much higher margin than they ever got from mining. Looking at the future outlook, the catalysts are clear. The full commissioning of the Sweetwater site will be a major milestone throughout the rest of 2026. Any further contracts with hyperscalers like Microsoft or Google would act as a massive tailwind. On the flip side, the risks are tied to the execution of their GPU deployment. They have thousands of chips arriving, and if there are delays in getting those online, the market will punish them. Also, while they are diversifying, a major crash in the crypto market would still hurt the sentiment around the stock in the short term. Investors using an individual brokerage account or Schwab Intelligent portfolios need to be aware that this is a high beta play. It moves fast and it moves hard. The common belief is that IREN is too dependent on the price of Bitcoin, but the reality is that their power assets are becoming their most valuable commodity. As the world becomes more desperate for data center space with secured energy, IREN's 3-gigawatt power portfolio becomes a gold mine regardless of what the crypto market does. This is the disconnect between the market's expectation and the underlying reality of the company's assets. They are a power company dressed in a miner's clothes. Those who recognize this early are the ones who are positioned to benefit as the narrative fully shifts over the next few quarters. To summarize the situation, IREN is currently at a crossroads where its legacy business is providing the cash flow to build a much more valuable infrastructure business. The live price of $46.50 reflects a market that is starting to believe in the pivot, but is still wary of the upcoming earnings report. The expectation is that they are just another miner, but the reality of their 1.4 gigawatt energization and their Microsoft partnership suggests they are becoming a major player in the AI backend. For those managing their own portfolios or using tools like SoFi Invest and Interactive Brokers Trading, the key is to look past the quarterly EPS and focus on the growth of the AI cloud run rate. The contrast between what people think IREN does and what they are actually building is where the alpha lies. It's a story of energy, infrastructure, and a very calculated pivot that is finally starting to pay off in the high-stakes world of digital power. The market tension remains high as we approach May 7. Traders are watching the volume and the daily swings for any hint of institutional positioning. If the reality of the earnings report shows that the AI cloud revenue is scaling faster than expected, it could trigger a short squeeze, given the 15% short interest currently in the float. This is a high-conviction play for many, and the next few days will determine if the recent momentum was just a relief rally or the start of a much larger move toward those $70 price targets set by some analysts. Regardless of the immediate reaction, the long-term play on energy infrastructure remains the most compelling part of the IREN story. In the end, IREN represents a unique intersection of the crypto world and the massive AI infrastructure boom. While the daily volatility can be stomach-churning for some, the underlying growth in their power capacity is undeniable. The market's expectation of a simple mining company is being challenged by the reality of a massive data center operator with secured grid access. This shift in identity is the core of the investment thesis. Whether you are holding for the long haul or looking for a short-term trade around earnings, understanding this tension is crucial. The depth of their power portfolio and the speed of their AI pivot have turned IREN into a stock that demands attention from anyone serious about the future of technology and energy. It's a professional-grade setup in a sector that is usually defined by hype, proving that sometimes the best opportunities are hidden in plain sight behind a ticker that the broader market hasn't fully understood yet. The authority with which IREN is moving into the AI space is clear, and the coming months will likely reinforce the gap between the outdated expectations and the new reality of the company's value proposition. Staying grounded in the data while recognizing the massive infrastructure shift is how you stay ahead in this market. While the noise around Bitcoin will continue, the signal from the Sweetwater energization is what truly matters for the long-term valuation. IREN is no longer just a participant in the market. They are building the foundation that the next decade of computing will stand on. Keeping a close eye on their execution will be the difference between those who see the full picture and those who get lost in the daily ticker fluctuations. This is a story of strategic foresight meeting a once-in-a-generation demand for power. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing. Market involves risk. Like this video, comment your thoughts, share with your friends, subscribe for more updates.